Hi everyone. Before learning differentiation, we need to understand what is the basic difference between tangent and slope. Let's understand. Tangent is kind of things you can say. For an example, let's suppose this is a curve. Okay. And here in this curve, if I am plotting a line, okay, I'm plotting multiple line. Okay. So out of this three line, so this is not an example of tangent. This is not an example of tangent. So this will be the example of tangent. Basically, tangent to a curve is a line that touches the curve at a single point. Okay. For an example, for an example here, this line L1 is touching this curve at this point. But if you see the line 2, this is cutting this curve at two different points. So this is not an example of tangent. Okay, now you'll ask that why we need this concept. Okay, so we will go like when you start learning differentiation, then you will appreciate the concept, like why we really need tangent and slope concept. Okay, so for now, just try to understand like what is a tangent and how it is how it is very related to the slope. Okay, okay, uh, okay. So hope you got the point. What is a tangent basically? Okay. So this what is slope now? The slope of a tangent to a curve at a particular point is equivalent to the derivative of the curve to the point. So now you are not getting my point, so don't worry because we are not at started derivative. So basically, what is slope? Okay, so basically, this red point you can say this is a point where like this green line, this green line is a tangent. Okay, so now we are able to form a angle actually. So basically, you know this formula tan theta equal to m. So what is m here? It is slope. So if you know the if we know the angle, okay. So what do you mean by this thing? So if this is your curve, if this is your curve, okay, and at this point, so let's suppose this is your x-axis, and if you are able to find the tangent, so this with respect to this tangent and this x-axis, we are able to make an angle. So this theta, we can compute it. Okay, tan theta equal to m. So this slope basically, okay, so this is a relation actually. So if you know the angle, you can get the slope basically. Okay, are you getting my point? So what I'm trying to tell is that how inclined your line is that. Okay, so if you want to understand those things, we need to find out the slope. So basically, slope is kind of like you'll get slope as output like any number. Okay, okay. So in other word, you can say that in summarization, you can say that a tangent is a line that touches the curve at a single point. Okay, but what do you mean by slope? Slope of a line is measured the steepness and is calculated using the rise over run between 2 points on the line basically. So for an example here, how this line is changing over the time basically, like if x is changing, so how y is changing with respect to x basically. So that is going to be your slope. So basically what you're trying to do, how your y is changing with respect to x actually. Okay, so this is going to be your slope. Okay, so this is very useful basically whenever we implement any machine learning algorithm, because we are trying to understand the behavior of two variable. Okay, if one variable is changing with some point, so how this variable is affecting to other variable basically. Okay, okay, so we will discuss it later, but for now, what I am trying to explain you, what is tangent and what is a slope basically. Okay, we can implement this thing into Python also. So for now, just ignore the concept of derivative. Okay, let's suppose we have a function x square. Okay, the same function which we have used in this diagram. Okay, and now we will try to find out the tangent. Okay, so we just generated the x value. Okay, so in the numpy, we have some called linear space function. By using this, we are generating point from -3 to 3. Okay, and then what we are doing actually, so basically we have a function x square. Okay, f of x equal to x square, and then for each point from -2 to -3, I'm calculating the f of x and I'm storing here into y. Okay, and then I'm plotting it. So when I will plot it, it will look like this. Okay, and then I'm trying to find out the like a point where our tangent will pass through. So like this will be the point where our tangent will be pass through. So to find out the tangent point, basically we need to find out the slope. Okay, so I know it's difficult to understand this lecture, but because in this lecture I'm not going to explain what is the derivative. Basically in this lecture we are just trying to explain you how you can understand like what is the difference between tangent and slope. So okay, so we are understanding the code. So we plot it, and then we are trying to find out the tangent at point 1 basically. Okay, so basically what we are trying to do, so whenever I say the we want to find tangent at 1, okay, so what we are doing actually, we are passing that value to the function and we are getting the uh, differentiation. Okay, so just a minute, there is a one mistake because we are not calculating the derivative. Okay, so basically what we're doing, so this is your curve, and let's suppose this is a point, this is a point x equal to 1. So at this point, okay, so this will be our tangent line. We need to find out the slope. Okay, so how we can find out the slope? Using the concept of derivative actually. Okay, so till now we are not yet studied what is derivative, like how to compute the derivative. But for easiest one, I am just telling you this is your x square. So f of x equal to x square. So to find out the differentiation of it, this will be the 2x. Okay, so here 2x. So basically we are trying to find out the derivative at point 1. Okay, so we are putting 1. So this will be your slope. Okay, the slope is equivalent to your derivative. Okay, so now we are finding the, you know, this equation, no? Y equal to mx plus c. So here c you can replace with b. Okay, basically it's your intercept, and then okay, so this is equation which I'm using here, and then I'm just plotting it. Okay, so now see, this will be my, this will be the my point where tangent will pass off. Okay, so, and the slope will be 2. Okay, slope will be 2. You can print it over here. So basically, to summarize all of this thing, what I can say that tangent is a line. Tangent is a line that touches the curve at a single point. But basically, what is slope? Slope, the slope of a line is a measure of its steepness and calculate using the rise over run between 2 point on the line basically. So how to compute this thing? Uh, that is a like we will learn in the future lecture. Basically, slope in short, what you are trying to understand. So how your y is changing when your x is changing over the time basically. So you are trying to find out this one. So how to compute it? So it's not easy basically. Okay, because at this point, this could be also a tangent. This could be also a tangent. There could be multiple tangent. Okay, so it's like to minimize it. So we need to study the concept of derivative. Okay, so I hope you got my point. Okay, so uh, if you want to practice some problem, you can implement this code. Okay, this code. Basically, I'm giving one assignment for all of you. So the problem statement is what? Okay, so we need to find out the slope between 2 point. Okay, so if I'm giving 2 point, can you find out the slope? Yes, you can find out the slope using the mathematical formula. So just apply the formula over here and find out the slope. Okay, find out the intercept and then plot it. So when you plot it, it will look like this. Okay, so hope you understood the point, like what is the difference between tangent and slope. So in upcoming session, we are ready to start the concept of derivative. So whenever we need a slope, Okay. Basically, if you want to understand the rate of change, okay, kind of thing, so we really need a differentiation concept. Okay, so in the upcoming session we are going to learn about differentiation concept in detail.